Hello, welcome back to engineering lecture or engineering orientation. This is part 2 of lecture 1, Introduction to Engineering and Electrical Engineering. So in this chapter, I will introduce briefly the history of engineering and a few engineering branches and electrical engineering. First part is the history of engineering. First is a definition of engineering from ABET. Engineering is the profession in which knowledge of the mathematical and natural science gained by study, experience, and practice is applied with judgment to develop ways to use economically the material and force of nature for the benefit of mankind. So please remember there are some important um, elements here. We apply the knowledge we gain by studying through our experience and practice to develop the ways to use the material and the force from nature for the benefit of mankind. Um, Next, I will show you a very quick overview of the history of engineering 6,000 years at once. So earlier, we have home tools made of rocks, wood, and they are engineering because they serve us human. And we have gone from Stone Age through Bronze Age, Iron Age, Silicon Age, and now in nano biomaterial in terms of material. We have a lot of fascinating structure like pyramids in Egypt, hanging gardens of the Babylon, Stonehenge in England, temple in Greece, road and aqueducts in Italy, the Great Wall of China, and for about 1200 years right before the Christ, we have iron swords manufacturing techniques. We use concrete, and then for another 1,000 years we develop math. We have gunpowder, cotton, and silk, and another 400 years we have the math. The first Western text on algebra was still to grow in silk and glass industry. And the next 300 years we have a lot of more advancement like the water closets, telescope, calculating machine. And next 100 years we have the industrial revolution, steam engine, the first building made entirely of cast iron. And in next 25 years we have railroad locomotive, telegraph, electromagnetism is studied. And 50 more years we have reinforced concrete. We have typewriter, and we can produce steel cheaply. And in the next 25 years we have the telephone, phonograph, and light bulb, gasoline engine. Next 25 years we have the first sustained flight. We have stainless steel and the first commercial airplane service. The next 25 years We have car, nuclear bombs, transistor was invented. In the next 25 years, we have satellite, communication satellites, integrated circuit, and the first moon landing. In the next 15 years, we have supersonic transport, space shuttle can be reused for space travel, and the first artificial human heart was implanted. And we have even more. From 1990 until today, computer processor speed is drastically improved. Channel tunnel between England and France. We have the GPS system. Robot can walk on Mars. So one common message here is that the technology is advancing faster and faster, so that would be very important for you to see that what you study now might be obsolete in a very short time, and you should be ready for self-study and lifelong study. Here we introduce some historic engineers. First is Leonardo da Vinci, and second is Gutenberg and his printing press. So we gave you the link so you can check the information from those links. And here is the Vietnamese inventor, Professor Dr. Võ Đình Tuấn. He's the professor of biomedical engineering and professor of chemistry of Duke University. Another inventor and creator is Steve Jobs. And please watch Steve Jobs' speech in Stanford 2005 commencement. I give you the link in BKL. And after watching the video, please answer the question. Another Vietnamese, Mr. Hồ Nguyen-Quang, the director of Toshi Robots, a company specialized in creating entertainment robots. And now I will talk about our field, electrical engineering. So we cover a communication telecom system, computer and automatic control, power generation, transmission, also some industrial application. And those are some major stream for our electrical engineering, which is the largest branch of engineering. As an electrical engineer, you can be a research engineer. Normally you need a PhD for this position. You can be a development engineer, so you bridge the gap between the lab and the full-scale production. You also can do testing, and you are responsible for designing and implementing the tests. You can find most people in design. So this is the most popular job for engineer, design engineer. And you can also become an analysis engineer. You will build a model and computational tools to provide the information for the design and development of any product. You can also become a system engineer, and you work with the overall design, connecting people. You also can work as a manufacturing engineer, or become an O&M, operation maintenance engineer. And you can also support into a technical support or customer support. For this job, you will need very good interpersonal skill, communication skill. You can also become a sales engineer or a consulting engineer. If you work long enough and you can oversee projects, you can become the management engineer. And last but not least, there are other fields that an engineer can work in, such as law, education, medicine, business, defense. And now I would like to introduce a CV of an electrical engineer. You would want to put similar skill and capability in your CV before you go apply for a job. And finally, a statistical profile of engineering profession. So that is for all engineering, not just us. So these numbers are a little old. They are in 2011. So you can see that electro and electronic engineering is a very large group of students. And these are the number of graduates in 2011 from our university. An important question normally arises is the salary of an electro and electronics engineer. In the USA, you can have a starting salary of 61,000 US dollar per year. This is in 2011. In Australia, the average salary is about 2,000 Australian dollar per week. In Vietnam, if you work for a company with foreign investment, the average salary would be 17 to 25 million Vietnam dong a month. Okay, that's all from me for now. Bye.